Do you know that there is a nutrient that is very, very important if we want to lower our blood pressure? What is that nutrient? The nutrient is potassium. We know that sodium is a leading cause of high blood pressure. So when you talk about salt, you talk about sodium. Now, salt is one of the primary cause of high blood pressure in our body. So potassium conducts nerve impulse and then muscle contraction in our body. Potassium has so many functions in our body. Potassium helps to maintain our heartbeat. Potassium helps to flush out the excess sodium in our body, because you know the excess sodium will lead to what? High blood pressure. So it is the function of the potassium to flush out the excess salt in our body so that it will not lead to high blood pressure. This potassium, which we know it is very, very important in our body if we want to reduce our blood pressure, should not as well be too high or too low. If not, it will lead to danger. That is why anything you are putting into your mouth to assist you in reviving your body should not be in excess or in reduction. Instead, it will lead to another problem. Okay, so having known all these things, now we have to look at some potassium-rich foods that we have to consider including in our diets right from today. Stay tuned. The first one is avocado. Avocado contains potassium. Now we know that avocado contains less sodium. Avocado contains vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, and the folate. So avocado contains all these things that are considered as antioxidants. So all these things contained in avocado will help, so that when we consume avocado, they will help in lowering our blood pressure. Another is potatoes. Although potatoes contain carbohydrates, yes, but they are good for our blood pressure. You know, we have three types of potato. We have the red potato, sweet potato, and then the white potato. All these three types of potatoes are still good for our blood pressure. You have to cook the potato healthily. No fries. You can either boil the potato or you bake them. Okay? Potatoes are low in fats and proteins, and then they have a high source of carbohydrates and fiber. Some fruits are good source of the required dose of potassium that we need to reduce our blood pressure. Some fruits like bananas, the cantaloupes, the kiwis are excellent sources of potassium. 2 bananas a day could help you to reduce your blood pressure by 10%. Now, the cantaloupes and kiwis are rich in vitamin C as well. The next is fish. Apart from being high in potassium, some fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel contain omega-3 fatty acids, and we know that these compounds will always help in improving the cell lining of our blood vessels. Now, when you want to buy fish, consider buying fresh fish or frozen fish. We know we have tinned fish, but tinned fish will always contain a high level of sodium, and we know that sodium is an enemy of what? Blood pressure. So if you should consume the tinned fish, it will as well contribute to having your blood pressure being high. Now you have to avoid any fish soaked with brine, because of what? There is high level of sodium in any fish soaked with brine, and that high level of sodium will help to increase your blood pressure. The next is dairy. Yogurts rich in calcium, potassium, magnesium, and even vitamin D help to lower our blood pressure. How? You know, they contain peptides. And then these peptides are as a result of what? Fermentation. So, you know that milk has similar compositions. Now, when you want to consume milk, or anything yogurt, or anything dairy product, you make sure that those ones you want to consume are fat-free, so that you can use them to control those calories. If you should consume the ones that have high calories, they will still contribute to your blood pressure being high. But for those ones that have low level of fats, they will still help you in lowering your blood pressure. Another is leafy greens. Protein-rich greens such as kale, spinach, and romaine lettuce contain potassium, and you know they help to lower our blood pressure. Other leafy greens such as Swiss chard, collard greens, arugula, some of them contain nitrates, and then you know that nitrate will always help to lower or manage our blood pressure levels. Spinach, as one of the protein-rich greens, contain a nutrient known as oxalate. Now, this oxalate contained in spinach has a side effect. That is why you are not expected to consume spinach in excess. So you consume a little part of spinach. When you consume excess oxalate from the spinach, it will lead to a side effect which is affecting your kidney. Another is unsalted seeds. You know that most seeds are rich in potassium, magnesium, and even other nutrients. So this will tell you that they are good at reducing our blood pressure. Then there are some other seeds that you have to consider for a positive result, such as the sunflower, the squash, the pumpkin, and then the flax. But you have to make sure that they are unsalted, so that they will not distract the sodium balance you have in your body. You know, when the sodium balance in your body is distracted, it will lead to an increase in your blood pressure. The next is beans. Magnesium and potassium are contained in beans. Okay? And now you know these nutrients will always help in lowering our blood pressure. Some beans like pinto beans, lima beans, kidney beans, they contain magnesium and potassium. And when they contain this, they will help in lowering our blood pressure because of the content of magnesium and potassium in them. Then the lentils as well contain magnesium and potassium. All these beans contain soluble fiber, and you know that this soluble fiber is very, very good in our body because they help to lower our blood pressure. So, having listened to all this, you will know that all the high potassium foods that we discussed here will always help in lowering your blood pressure. Now, if you are already dealing with some kidney issues, you have to avoid taking potassium foods. Because of what? When you are taking the potassium foods, they will interfere with the medication you are taking for your kidney issues. That is why I will always tell you that you have to make the intake of your potassium foods to be in moderation to avoid causing problem to yourself. Then, if you want to consume any potassium supplement, you have to consult your doctor. Bye.